whenever I'm talking to people and I'm saying, okay, if you can choose your dream avatar, can you work with or are you working with who, number one, has greater than 75% profit margins? Number two, has high ticket items, so two, three, four, five, six, $7,000. And number three has a sales cycle less than 30 days. Right. So that's always if you can think of a dream avatar, those are almost always those people. Because if you come in and let's say you do a DM setter or appointment setter or something like that, then they can get just a small increase in output for them could result in significant more cash in the bank account. So like they could go from 20 grand a month to legit 35, 40 grand a month within 30 days because they have such high margin, their stuff is high ticket and their sales cycle, they're closing right away, right? So that's why when a lot of people just say like, oh, I go out for coaches without really understanding why coaches. So that's why we go after coaches, but we'll also do agencies. We'll also do professional services as well, because they can still fall underneath that same category. So my funnel and ad campaign I would be building out here would be solely focused on one type of VA and really one type of avatar, right? Which in your example is going to very likely be the appointment setting one or the DM setting one, if you feel confident of doing that. Because now it's like, hey, we'll place a appointment setter in your business that costs like $10 an appointment, or however you want to do the math backwards to figure out what that is, with guaranteed placements. If you are a coach, agency owner, blah blah blah. And the truth is, if you find that industry like coaches and blah 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 a little bit saturated, or like you said, maybe they're so sophisticated they know how much a VA really costs, you could go into other industries like home repair, decking, stuff like that, that still fall in that category of like shorter sales cycles, high margins, high ticket prices, where you could just pretty much wipe the floor with everybody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. So, in sense of that, would you recommend testing out multiple industries then?
So other than coaches, is there anybody else that jumps out to you?
Our two biggest clients are coaches. We've had like construction companies that needed a couple, like two or three project managers. It's kind of, you, especially like we haven't had a lot of success with paid ads, so it's all been referral based. It's kind of like you need to get lucky.
Yeah.
But I mean, even even one of our clients right now that's growing, he's about to get his second and third virtual assistant or executive assistant. He's in a community coaching. So
So then I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think the way I would probably set it up is be like, so for us, even if you look at our funnel, right? I'll actually share my screen and show this to you because this might be helpful for you. But so I do call it out up top here for agencies, coach, consultants, online service providers, and then as soon as they click book a free call, it asks for the same type of avatar, which means that you make $2,000 or more per client. So this is high ticket coaching, consulting, info, agency, SaaS, or service based business. So you could honestly model something like this where you were going after these very same people, because we have people come in that are selling SaaS, high ticket, that we crush it for, agency. We have financial advisors, planners, wealth managements, plus coaches, consultants. The thing about ads is you realistically want a large enough total addressable market that the ads make sense, that you can keep your cost per booked call down. There's something called unit economics in business, which is just like the math, essentially. So we want the math to work out. The problem if we go so specific as far as like appointment setting just for coaches, that TAM is relatively small. And so it's going to be really hard to increase the ad spend on that. Where
mhm.
whether they're doing coaching, courses, communities, agencies, service-based business, all relative, they're all going to fall in the same bucket, but it allows your ads, and if we want to get technical, your CPM, cost per thousand impressions, to stay relatively low so that you can scale and let's say get $100 to $200 cost per booked call. Does that make sense?
No, that makes absolute sense. But it's still niche down and in that
It's
pocket.
still relative enough that you told me entrepreneurs, e-com brands, home care businesses, like, so yeah, it's going to be more narrow than that. And by narrowing it down further, you're also going to simplify the sales process as well. That's the other big part of this, is your sales process is going to be way more streamlined if you were serving the same avatar over and over again. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense.
If you want my help installing any of these systems in your business done for you, be sure to book a call with my team down below.